At the beginning of the movie, we are introduced to a sister named Elisa, who is seen walking through a forest path while leading her donkey toward a convent. As soon as she reaches the convent, another sister named Flora approaches her and questions her suspiciously, "Where were you last night?" Elisa smiles and casually replies that, just like always, her donkey had run away again, and she spent the entire night searching for it, which is why morning arrived before she could return. Flora looks at her doubtfully and says that she locks the gate properly every night. So how does the donkey keep escaping? Just then, the convent's gardener Leo passes by and greets them with a "good morning," but both sisters scold him and send him away. Soon after, all the sisters gather inside the church for their morning prayers. Once the prayers are over, the convent superior, Sister Maria, sternly asks Elisa where she was the previous night. Elisa repeats the same excuse about her donkey running away. Hearing this, Maria grows suspicious. Why does this donkey keep escaping again and again? On the other side, we are introduced to another sister named Jenny, who is sitting in her room sewing. Her expression clearly shows that she doesn't want to stay there. She feels trapped by the strict rules of the convent and dreams of going out into the world to live life on her own terms. Meanwhile, Flora and Maria are discussing something when Flora notices an old book. Inside, she finds a description of a strange, magical ritual. After reading a few lines, she quietly closes the book and puts it back. Around the same time, Jenny's father comes to the convent to meet her. He tells her that he is trying to find a suitable boy for her marriage, but the problem is that every proposal demands a huge dowry. Hearing this, Jenny suggests that if he stops donating money to the convent, he might be able to arrange the dowry. However, her father disagrees, saying that it wouldn't be right. He advises her to focus on her studies and future, telling her that whether she gets married or not, she should learn to live a good and fulfilling life. Hearing this, disappointment fills Jenny's eyes. She believes that marriage is the only way she can live a happy and secure life. The next day, all three sisters are seen leaving the convent together, carrying the clothes they have woven. But Jenny's mind is still occupied with her conversation with her father. She shares her worries with the other two, which makes them feel sad as well. Suddenly, they notice Leo, the gardener, standing nearby and staring at them strangely. This immediately angers the three sisters. They rush back inside the convent, throw his belongings around in rage, and brutally beat him. After that, they order him to leave the convent. Elsewhere, we see Father Thomas, who is taking the sisters' woven clothes to the market to sell. On the way, he encounters Leo, who folds his hands and apologetically says that he no longer wants to work at the convent. He complains that the three sisters beat him badly and even called him a wild animal. Father Thomas tries to calm him down, assuring him that nothing like this will happen again, and asks him to stay for 3 more days while he goes to the market. But Leo refuses to listen and leaves. The scene shifts to a house a few miles away from the convent, where we are introduced to Lord Bruno, a wealthy landowner, having dinner with his wife Franziska. However, Franziska's attention is clearly on their servant Michael, and Michael keeps looking back at her. From their expressions, it becomes obvious that something illicit is going on between them. That night, Franziska and Michael secretly meet. She complains that her husband only talks big but is unable to keep her happy. Just as the two are about to get intimate, they hear someone approaching. Michael tries to escape through the window, but Bruno spots him. Bruno notices the servant's rapid heartbeat and immediately grows suspicious. Because it is dark, he cannot recognize the man's face, so he cuts a lock of his hair, planning to identify him in the morning. Once Bruno leaves, Michael cleverly cuts small portions of hair from the other servants as well. The next morning, Bruno lines up all the servants, but everyone has slightly cut hair. As a result, he is unable to identify Michael. Still, he realizes that the man he is looking for is extremely clever. Enraged, Bruno threatens everyone, declaring that if he finds the guilty servant, he will hang him on the gallows. He then orders all the servants to get their hair cut short. The following day, while Bruno and Franziska are eating together, Bruno warns her that he knows she is also involved in this betrayal. He coldly states that if he ever finds that servant, her fate will be just as cruel as his. However, Franziska fearlessly replies that Bruno can't do anything and that he only knows how to make big threats. At that very moment, Bruno notices the secret gestures between his wife and Michael and finally realizes that Michael is the servant he has been looking for. Later, while Michael is working, Franziska approaches him and forcefully tries to get close to him again. This time, Bruno witnesses everything from a distance. Furious, he orders his men to capture Michael and bring him to him after mutilating him. Sensing the danger, Michael immediately runs for his life. Bruno's men chase him, but they fail to catch him. Michael runs deep into the forest and escapes far away. Eventually, he reaches a place where he encounters Father Thomas. Father Thomas had been drinking wine on the way, causing his cart to overturn, and his clothes had fallen into a river. Seeing this, Michael helps him by collecting all his belongings. Father Thomas is pleased, and when he learns that Michael has no home, he decides to take him to the convent. That night, after reaching the convent, Father Thomas gives Michael food and advises him to pretend to be deaf and mute, warning him that otherwise the convent sisters would trouble him a lot. The next morning, Father Thomas introduces Michael to Sister Maria, telling her that the boy is intelligent but deaf and mute, and that he will replace Leo as the new gardener. Maria agrees and hires him. From that very day, Michael starts working at the convent. However, Sister Jenny and Sister Elisa are unaware of this. When Elisa sees Michael, she mistakes him for an intruder and runs toward him with an axe, threateningly asking who he is. Just then, Sister Maria arrives and explains that he is the new gardener, Michael, and that he is deaf and mute. Hearing this, Elisa lets him go. Later, Sister Maria informs Jenny that the clothes woven by the sisters were stolen by robbers while Father Thomas was taking them to the market. She expresses regret that their hard work was wasted, but says they now need to increase production. More workers will be hired so that more clothes can be made in less time. Jenny is then shown weaving clothes with an elderly nun named Veo. During this, Jenny's sewing frame breaks. She goes to Michael to get it fixed, but Sister Flora secretly notices her and starts observing her from a distance. Michael silently repairs the frame while Jenny vents her frustrations, saying that she doesn't want to stay there or spend her life sewing. She wants to leave the convent and live her life freely. Michael listens but says nothing, as he must continue pretending to be deaf and mute. Jenny believes that he cannot hear or tell anyone, so she freely shares her feelings. That night, Father Thomas visits Michael's room and asks how his day was. He warns him that the sisters can be quarrelsome, but assures him they won't harm him. He advises Michael to inform him if there's any trouble and to continue pretending to be deaf and mute in front of everyone. On the other side, Elisa is reading in her room when a stone suddenly hits her window. When she opens it, she sees her childhood friend Millie standing outside. The two then go to Jenny's room, where all three drink wine together. After some time, Sister Flora also joins them, and the four begin laughing and joking. Under the influence, they start talking about romance and desires. Millie tells them about a special herb called belladonna, which can be used in a specific way to attract men. The other three become excited after hearing this. The next morning, while Michael is working in the garden, Jenny approaches him and says she has made a handkerchief for him. She gently wipes the sweat from his face and sits close, talking to him. During the conversation, Jenny suddenly leans in and kisses Michael. Michael understands her intentions, and both begin losing control, but just then, the church bell rings. Startled, Jenny quickly pulls herself together and leaves for prayer. While praying, Elisa notices that there is soil on Jenny's scarf and under her nails, making her suspicious that Jenny had been somewhere outside. In the next scene, Flora and Elisa are washing clothes when Jenny comes to them and casually remarks that she had a lot of fun the previous night. Elisa questions her, saying she never comes outside like this, and asks why her clothes are so dirty. Laughing, Jenny replies that she was helping the new gardener with digging work. Hearing this, they find it hard to believe, since Jenny had never done physical labor before. From her expressions, Elisa realizes that Jenny is hiding something. Later, Elisa and Millie are seen in the forest searching for the belladonna herb. They boil it to create a thick liquid. Millie then puts a few drops into Elisa's eyes and slightly cuts her finger, smearing a little blood on her cheeks. Unbeknownst to them, Flora secretly witnesses everything. After this, Elisa and Millie go to Michael's room. Elisa pulls out a knife to threaten him. Then both women begin trying to seduce him. Michael is initially shocked and confused by their behavior, but slowly he is unable to resist, and the situation becomes extremely intense. Afterward, both women quietly leave the room. At that moment, Flora arrived and questions them about what they were doing there. They quickly make excuses and leave, but Flora understands that something is seriously wrong. The next day, Head Father Lawrence arrives at the convent for an inspection. Father Thomas and Sister Maria welcome him. Meanwhile, Michael sneaks into Jenny's room, and once again, the two grow close in an intense moment. They are extremely excited, but suddenly Sister Veo enters the room, causing Michael to panic and accidentally speak. Jenny is shocked but quickly regains her composure and starts helping Veo, while Michael hides under the bed. Since Veo cannot hear properly, they narrowly escape getting caught. Eventually, Michael manages to sneak out through the window. The next day, Flora prepares belladonna herself in order to seduce Michael. However, by mistake, instead of putting it into her eyes, she drinks the potion. She then cuts her hand slightly and smears the blood on her cheeks. Meanwhile, Jenny enters Michael's room and confronts him, asking why he lied about being deaf and mute. Just then, they hear Flora approaching. Jenny quickly hides in a corner, while Michael pretends to be asleep. Under the influence of belladonna, Flora comes close to Michael, clings to him, and starts behaving strangely. But as soon as they hear Elisa approaching, Flora also hides in the same corner where Jenny is already hiding. Soon after, Elisa enters the room, threatens Michael with a knife, ties his hands, blindfolds him, and forcefully drags him toward the forest. Seeing all this, Jenny and Flora secretly follow them. This raises a terrifying question. Why is a convent worker being taken into the forest at night? What dark secrets are hidden there? As they follow them deep into the forest, night falls. There, they witness a horrifying scene, several women dancing wildly around a fire, while Michael is tied nearby. Shocked, Jenny asks what they are about to do. Flora recalls a ritual she once read about, where young women sacrifice a human to gain the powers of a witch. At this moment, it is revealed that Elisa had been coming here every night using her donkey as an excuse, and now Millie has also joined her. Just as Elisa and Millie are about to sacrifice Michael, he screams in fear, begging them to let him go. This exposes the truth. Michael is neither deaf nor mute. At the same time, Flora, intoxicated by belladonna, loses control and starts dancing with the women around the fire. This causes panic, and the women flee the scene. A fight breaks out between Flora and Millie, and they begin attacking each other. Meanwhile, Elisa is about to kill Michael, but Jenny rushes in, snatches the knife from Elisa, and saves him. During the fight, Flora hits Millie with a stick and knocks her unconscious. She then wears Millie's clothes, takes the donkey, and runs back to the convent. Upon reaching the convent, Flora starts screaming for help. Hearing her cries, Father Lawrence comes outside, and Flora, gasping for breath, tells him that Elisa is a witch. However, Jenny, Elisa, and Michael also arrive, and Jenny claims that everything Flora is saying is a lie, insisting that Flora is just speaking nonsense under intoxication. Flora argues that it is all true and that strange rituals were being performed in the forest. Enraged, Father Lawrence immediately summons Sister Maria, demanding an explanation. At that moment, Father Thomas suddenly steps out of Maria's room, shocking everyone. Now Father Lawrence fully understands what has been happening inside the convent all along. The next day, Father Lawrence announces punishments for everyone and orders them to seek forgiveness from God. Father Thomas receives the harshest punishment, as he was responsible for protecting the convent. He is sent to a monastery where only men live. Michael is handed over to Lord Bruno, whose soldiers immediately imprison him. Later, the three sisters are shown apologizing to one another, realizing how terribly wrong they were. However, they become deeply worried about Michael, knowing that Lord Bruno will surely kill him. Determined to save him, they secretly plan his rescue. Meanwhile, Lord Bruno throws Michael into a dungeon and tells him that he has tied his wife among wild animals, so she will die a slow and painful death. He warns Michael that the next day, he will face an even worse punishment. After Bruno leaves, Michael begs the guards to release him, but they refuse. A little later, the guards notice a turtle carrying a lit candle and follow it out of curiosity. In reality, the turtle was released by the sisters. As soon as the guards leave, the three sisters rescue Michael, place a dummy in his cell, dress him in nun's clothes, and escape with him into the forest. Elsewhere, Sister Maria is seen meeting Father Thomas, bringing the donkey along. They had fallen in love and could not stay apart. Hearing some noises, they hide. Elisa then notices her donkey and wonders how it got there, but Flora quickly pulls her away. After they leave, Maria and Thomas come out of hiding and realize that the three sisters have successfully freed Michael. Seeing their mischievous act, both of them smile. And with this clever and darkly humorous ending, the story finally comes to an end.